Hey, besties.
Hey.
Welcome back for another episode of the Hello Bestie podcast. I'm Maggie.
I'm Tashima.
How you doing this week, teams?
Good.
What's going on? What tea you got for us?
So my tea is courtesy of the girls next door. A while back, they were there's one of their episodes where they talk about things that they're currently reading and listening to and all that stuff.
Yes.
And Kelsey, I believe, mentioned a podcast called Grim, Grimmer, Grimmest for kids from the Penna group.
Okay.
And my kids love it. Primarily my daughter, but and I actually enjoy it a lot.
Really?
It's really, 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 really good.
I don't remember her saying that. What's the premise of the podcast?
This may have been like last year sometime. Like I just wrote it down and just finally decided to give it a chance. Is basically an author, I forget what his name is, but he kind of tells the unfiltered version of Grimm fairy tales. But he tells it to kids. So he's like talking to a class when he's telling these Grimm fairy tales. And it's really cool because he's like, so on a level of Grim, Grimmer, Grimmest, this tale is grimmer. So it's not very scary, but it does have some gross things. And then he just kind of says, if you find he's like, how much Grimm you're able to take. So if you listen to something that, is just a little too spooky or it makes you uncomfortable, turn the volume down, count to 10, turn it back up. If it's still not past that, do it again.
Okay.
And then he just tells it to a class, so you hear some engagement from other kids, and it's just a really very entertaining and very fun podcast to listen to with kids when you're just in the car and you just want to listen to something that's going to make you laugh, but then sometimes will make you go, ew.
How long are the episodes?
They're maybe 20 minutes.
Okay, that's what I was
thinking. Less than a
like
half an
15
hour.
minutes, something like that. I was thinking.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, there's ads in there. So
Okay.
I guess because I am not subscribed to Penna, but so if you listen to it like through Apple Podcasts, then you're getting ads and things like that, which I'm fine. I can hit that 15-second button a few times to get past the ad. So I think it's like 20-something minutes. But yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
the best
really
is to
good.
check that out. I need to check that out too.
Yeah.
Check out your ham right too, guys, while you're in the mood to check out podcasts. So my tea is I have recently taken up roller skating. Yeah.
How's it going?
Really
good.
No
broken bones, I see.
Not yet. Not yet.
That's awesome.
It's been fun. So I took my kids to the roller skating rink a couple of weeks ago. And, wildly, it's been a while since I've been on roller skates. But once you get the hang of it out there for a little while, you get very comfortable and bop to the music and fun. And they loved it so much they wanted to. That was their second time going roller skating. So, they have like little arcades and stuff there. And they have roller skates there. But they were selling them for like $140, $150. Nah, we're not getting those roller skates. So I did some looking online, found some nice ones on Amazon, and they both got their own roller skates. So the following week we went back again. They rode around again with the little assistance things, and then they were just out there by themselves. And I was skating too. So I bought my own pair of roller skates, little pink ones that light up when I roll. And I'm watching all these different like TikTok videos and YouTube videos on how to turn better and how to just like get more acclimated to it. So it's been a fun activity.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's good for those glutes.
It is indeed. Yeah.
I love watching people do like the skates, like the synchronized skating, and
it's so smooth.
Yeah.
You see that at the skating rink, like they have the people in the middle that are dancing on their skates and just going around, and then you have couples that are doing the synchronized thing, not even like romantic couples, just like two people.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see.
Yeah.
So
nothing like a silver fox.
Yeah. I know, right? I've seen that man on TikTok.
Yeah. Yum.
Had all the girls thirsting. Like, she's a lucky woman. Who is that?
Yeah, and I don't even think that they were. Are you talking about the one that I sent you?
I am, and I had seen that one
they weren't
before
even
too.
together.
No, they won't. That was
but
just
it
like
was like, yeah,
it was
yum.
nice. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna get into my first Reddit thread.
Okay.
So, am I the asshole for suggesting the teacher host my son's party at her house? My son, Sam, had his 9th birthday today, but we're having the actual party tomorrow night, which is basically just a sleepover at our apartment with 2 friends. One is in his class, the other is in a different one, same school though. Before my son even got home from the bus, I got a call from his teacher, Lorna, requesting that the party involve all the students in the class. She learned about it because it came up as the class wished him a happy birthday. I at first politely refused, saying that's not reasonable, but she insisted to make sure nobody was left out. I responded by saying that she has no say in who is at my home ever, and that even if she did, my apartment simply cannot accommodate 32 kids and guardians. She says that because other students are involved, she does have a say-so, and that I should have the party somewhere that can allow for all the students. I was ready to either hang up or tell her off, but what she said at the end sparked an idea. I tell her, okay, what's your address? And when she asked why, I said, well, since you think you do have a say and you want all your students to be a part, we might as well have the party over at your house, and request her address again. There's a pause before she says that's not exactly what she meant, and I tell her that no, she wants everyone to attend, so she should be the one to make it work, before hanging up. This is where I probably became the asshole. Out of curiosity, I easily found her address. Her social media is not private at all. And email her, how does this email sound? With an excerpt to the group email chain saying that Lorna has offered to host Sam's party at her home and to come after school to X address. I was not planning on actually sending that to anyone else but her. I just wanted to prove this point and felt that I was being sarcastic, but I know tone is hard online. She responded to not send it and to do whatever I want for the birthday. She does not care anymore. When I vented to my husband about it, he called me unhinged, but he agreed with my point. I'll admit I have a bit of a habit of going overboard when I feel wronged and probably went nuts, but I can't believe the audacity of this lady. Am I the asshole?
Please tell me what Reddit said.
They were like, you're not the asshole and you're not wrong, but you could have done without the creepy stalker vibes of like looking up her address and sending her the thing. So they're like, that makes you an asshole, but right. The fact that, so.
I don't think she's the asshole. And I could see, you know, I've heard that so many times where they want the entire class to be invited and not just, I could see that if you invited, like, there's a class of 20 kids and you invited
17 of it, right?
Or like a lot.
Yeah.
You invited one kid from his class
to a sleepover. That's not even a real party. That's a very different thing from everyone's going to a park or to a skating rink or trampoline park. Because I have heard that that's a new rule now. That wasn't a rule when we were in school.
Oh, no.
But now it's a, you know, inclusiveness and all of that. Right. So I understand where it comes from. But when you know it's a sleepover, that's weird that the teacher would be like,
right.
No, a student is in my class, so I do have say-so over who you have at your house.
You don't.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I could see even if she invited, you know, 5 kids, that does make it a little, you know, like that, a situation like that happened with one of my kids where they were invited to a birthday party, but not everybody in that particular group was. Mm-hmm. And so it's not my business to tell her mom what she can and cannot do. Mm-hmm. But I told my kid, just so you know, you already know everybody isn't invited, so you're going to have to keep this to yourself.
Right.
When you're around these other people, because that's basically her business. Mm-hmm. I don't want my kid to feel like they're keeping secrets, but I also don't want them to make other people feel bad for not being included.
Right.
So I have a thread though. Okay. Wait, but you feel like she's not the asshole before I move on? Like in any way, like you think the whole thing?
I think she made her point when she said, what's your address? And I can we can have everybody come over there. Mm-hmm. Same scenario, I would have done the same thing if the teacher's coming at me like that. I've never had that type of interaction with the teacher ever. I hope I never do. I don't blame her for that. She didn't have to go on this chick's social media. Yeah, like now you look crazy.
Boundary.
You look real crazy right now. So
yeah.
That made her the asshole.
She won't do that again though.
No. Nah, she won't. She's gonna see those invitations and just turn her head the other way. And
all right, so my thread. What is the funniest real-life story you can tell? High school junior year, first day of class, teacher walks in. It's an older, wrinkly guy with a stash, a little weird looking. His shirt is only tucked in on one side. Everyone is just getting the wrong vibe from this guy, like he's not all there in his head. He's got a manic look in his eyes. He's creepy. He starts going through attendance, not looking up the whole time. Then he gets to my name, starts to say it, then stops, looks up, scans the room directly at me. Ah, Mr. 102194? I'm glad you're here. How's your family? Is your little sister still playing the piano? Is that model ship still on your dresser? Is your room still blue? I'm shocked, mortified. I can't find the words to respond. This creeper has just described my family and the effing room I sleep in at night. Ah, of course it is. It's only been, what, a week? But anyway, the next day I find out that the old crazy guy is my uncle's best friend, and they and my dad decided to pull a prank on me for my first day. The teacher wasn't so crazy looking the rest of the year. He shaved his pedo stash, which he grew specifically for the prank apparently, dressed better, stopped making his eye twitch, etc.
Wow.
I have to admit it was a good prank, even if I was terrified of being murdered for a day or two.
That's strange. Wow. Damn, what did that kid do?
I don't know. He must have deserved a prank being pulled on him. It must have been three guys doing whatever stuff they were doing. I just envisioned like a couple of beers and this kid just walking in his house, minding his own business. And they're like, hey, what if, and they just like plot this whole thing for the summer.
Exactly what it was.
It's so funny.
Damn. I wonder what that kid did. If they come from like a prank family, or it probably was, like you said, they just, it'll be so funny.
Yeah.
Taking advantage of his teacher status.
Can you imagine the rest of the kids were probably looking at him like, oh
and did he clarify that to the rest of the class? Like, do they all just still think he's a creeper?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Am I the asshole for threatening to sue both the school and the family of my daughter's bully? I, 30-year-old male, and my husband, 33-year-old male, have an 11-year-old daughter who's been going through severe bullying at school. It just keeps getting worse. It started with just name calling, but has gotten worse over the past few weeks. Context, she's adopted, which is something we've always been open about and celebrated as part of her story. Recently, some kids found out about her adoption and started saying horrible things, telling her stuff like her birth mother didn't want her. They tell her that she's unwanted and that she's a reject, which is not the case. Her mother loved her very much to the point she literally gave her life so she could be here. If this wasn't bad enough, a few days ago, she came home in tears with her hair butchered. They cut off 2 inches of her ponytail while in class, all while taunting her and calling her names, laughing at her reaction. They will follow her through the halls and make fun of her on a regular basis now. Both my husband and I have been in touch with the school about the bullying more times than I can count. I emailed, called, even showed up in person to speak with teachers and the principal, but all I got were empty promises that they'd look into it. Nothing changed, and my daughter's mental health has taken a hit. She's anxious, struggling to sleep, and now begs us not to send her to school. Finally, out of frustration and feeling like no one was taking this seriously, we reached out to a lawyer to explore legal action against both the school and the bully's family. Only when the school and her parents learned we were considering a legal action did they start to act. Suddenly, the school calls me to say they're moving the bully out of my daughter's class and claim they had a talk with her. The girl's parents reached out too, saying they talked to their daughter and promised it would stop. But honestly, I don't believe them. It feels like they're all just saying this to get me to back off and avoid the legal consequences. I worry that once the dust settles, things will go right back to how they were, and my daughter will still be dealing with this. My family thinks I should give the school and parents a chance now that they're finally taking action, but I feel like it's all for show. So, am I the asshole for moving forward with legal action, even though the school and the bully's parents now claim they're handling it?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. I agree.
No. You are your child's advocate.
It's crazy it took all that.
Yeah. Hey, girl, you already know.
That's wild that it took all that.
Yeah. It's a shame that the lengths that parents have to go through to get movement from a school's side, and also the things that kids have to go through.
It is.
Like, I don't know what has to happen in this world for, like, kids to stop being raised in this way, but this needs to stop. I'm not saying be overly sensitive because that's annoying, like the whole cancel culture thing, but like just those hurtful things coming from a kid's mouth, how is that even, like, what?
That is wild. Like, there's
Nobody could
gonna
call me
be,
and tell me that my kid said that to somebody else and me not handle business. They won't be saying that again.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I would be very upset to find out that my child was being bullied, but if I found out that my kid was the bully,
Yeah.
we are shutting this
All
all
the
the
way
way
down.
down.
Yeah.
So that's insane to me that a parent wouldn't even try to stop their kid from doing that,
Right.
especially to that extent, because that's not like this little girl is just being sensitive.
Yeah.
Kids are always going to make little slick stuff, or like that's part of
Yeah.
growing up. Like,
They'll make fun of anything.
everybody went through that, but cutting her hair,
That
that's
is, yeah,
insane.
that's, I don't even, yeah, no.
So
That's
no,
something I feel like I would hear or see on a movie.
that's like a last resort. They're using their last resort. And the
Right.
fact that that's what it took for you guys to take action, like,
And I imagine, I don't know if you come through the comments, but I'm pretty sure people are like, why don't you just switch schools? It's not always that easy. You
yeah, it's
know,
not
it's
easy to
not
just pull a kid
always
out of
to
school.
just, it's not always the answer of like, why do I have to remove my kid from this school that wanted my kid to go to?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's other reasons why I want my kid to go here. Maybe it's on my way to work. Maybe it's closer to my home. This is
Mm-hmm.
my districted school. Like, there's 101 reasons that I don't need to uproot my life because your kid is an asshole.
Right.
And the
Right.
school is refusing to actually hold these kids accountable. Like the haircutting thing, that to me would have been the absolute last straw.
He didn't mention the speaking to the other parents until it came to like they responded to the legal action. Because
Mm-hmm.
at first reading it, my thought was, well, what's up with the other kids' parents? Have you not
Right.
tried to talk to them? But it sounds like they did because you had their information for a lawyer to be able to reach out to them and let them know that they're moving forward with something, or
Not
the school would maybe
necessarily.
lead, or the school would
Yeah.
maybe do that.
I
But
mean, it's not always easy to get a hold of parents. Like, I don't even know half these kids.
well, to me, it just shows that the school isn't doing their job because
Right.
if you're calling and emailing them, I would think that some type of parent to parent conference would happen.
Mm-hmm.
Or do the schools avoid that because they don't want the drama? I don't know how
Right.
that works,
They want
but
to handle it internally and stuff
yeah,
like that, which
like they're
means sweeping
doing,
it under the rug.
I'm talking to this parent as a principal, now I'm going to go talk to this parent. I just assumed that both parents would be in the room so they could talk it out.
They
But
don't
I
really do
guess
that
that's
very
not how they
much.
do it. Okay.
Yeah, no,
Mm.
they don't do that very much anymore.
That
I
reminds me, we mentioned your Ham Right podcast, but they had a story like that. And I don't know if this guy went to jail or not. I don't want to miss anything, but um, he basically went and like beat up
mm,
the parent of the person, like the daughter. I guess like one kid was bullying his kid. I don't remember if he had
hmm
a son or a daughter.
It was to teach the kid a lesson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like he beat
yeah.
up their parent in front of them. Like,
hmm
this is what
This is
happens when
what
you don't take
happens.
care of
Yep.
bullies. And there
Yeah.
was all this backlash and stuff. I'm like, he
I
did the right thing to
mean,
me. Like, how
yeah.
else do you, some lessons have got to be learned the hard way.
Yeah. I don't condone it, but the way that I remember the story is he was like, this is what happens
Mm-hmm.
when you cut up and you're not put in check.
Right.
Your dad suffered the consequence because of your actions. Like,
Yeah.
and if you continue to do this, I'm going to come back every single time.
Yeah.
And I'm going to beat your dad's
Yeah.
ass.
Yeah.
It's very traumatic, I imagine, but at some point, everybody has their breaking point. And if I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to as a parent,
Mm-hmm.
supporting the school, supporting the class, I'm redirecting my kid when they're doing certain things,
Mm-hmm.
the kid is told, tell a teacher, and then you're telling a teacher, and then nothing is happening, and then my kid is coming back saying these horrible things are happening to them, and they're having anxiety and stress and all these things to
Mm-hmm.
the point that they don't want to go to school. That's unhealthy.
That is unhealthy.
And at some point, all of these systems that you put into place are failing. So now I'm unhinged because I'm at wit's end.
Right.
You know, and I'm not condoning the horrible things that have happened in schools. I'm in no way saying that these things are okay, but we have to really, going to your 7 whys,
Mm-hmm.
why are these things happening?
Yeah.
And really get to the root of it. And it's because systems are not being followed the way that they're supposed to.
Yeah, they're not being executed the way that they're supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
for whatever reason. But
And
that's
it's
why
just
rules are
not
put in
okay for
place.
kids to, like, they're developing. They shouldn't feel like this in this way.
I remember there being days growing up where I just didn't want to go to school just because I didn't feel like doing math. that day.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't want to go read this book in class that I'm not really interested in, that I know. Like, those were reasons why occasionally I wouldn't want to go to school. I can't imagine being afraid to go to school or not wanting to go because someone's going to bully me. Like, that's horrible for a kid to deal with at any age.
Having people calling you a name, and
Yeah.
even people that you're like, I don't even know this kid, and now all of a sudden they're in on it. And that's the unfortunate part, I think, when it comes to bullying, is you have people who like get in on it sometimes because they're glad it's just not them for once, you know, because bullies are gonna they're gonna bounce around between their people.
Well, they're gonna see who they can get away with stuff with.
Yeah. And you don't have enough people who are able to just say, this isn't okay. Because if you had enough people that just stopped laughing and actually made the bully feel stupid, but that you have to have enough kids that have the confidence level.
I agree.
You know, and I don't think, and this is obviously, I'm no clinician, but I just don't think that bullies, like, you wouldn't typically have two parents who are like fine, loving parents, and then their kid happens to be a bully.
Right.
You know, usually there's something going on where this kid isn't getting the attention that they want. They're missing a parent, both parents, or whatever. There's a million other reasons, but there's obviously a cry for help that's coming from them, and that also goes to why.
I agree.
So
I agree.
That's crazy.
It is.
I feel like they should follow through, and eventually the school, like, this will probably be the thing that school needs, so that this never happens to any other kids.
I agree. There was a thing on TikTok that I saw, and it was just like a picture of like a high school photo of this kid, and you know how you get to write your little like whatever you want to be under your senior photo, your little sentence or whatever, and he put, I only showed up so y'all wouldn't lock up my mama, and I love my mama.
He gets finger snaps for that. Thank you, son. Thank you.
Whatever got you in school.
Yeah. You go first.
All right, we're going to play some bad choices. We haven't done this in a while.
A long time.
I'm a little nervous. I don't know what to expect.
I know we kind of stopped because some of them were a little wild.
Do you think you would give the best lap dance in the room? Fear activated. This is what we're starting with.
This is why we stopped playing this game.
This is exactly why we stopped playing this.
The best lap dance? I don't know. I'm not like the best dancer, and I feel like we haven't been around each other and really danced.
No, we haven't. It would just be funny. It would just be really awkward and goofy and funny.
Best.
Yeah.
I would give it my best shot. But I would have to have a lot to drink.
Yeah. You would. Me too, by the way.
All right. Do you think that you will age well?
I hope so. I mean, if I don't, I plan to take some extra, precautions. Aiden has.
Meg's is going to come with the lips.
No, because that shit gets out of hand real quick.
Stretched.
Real quick.
Hello, besties.
Would you live on the streets like a homeless person for 1 year to triple your salary the following year? You're thinking about it? Fuck no, I wouldn't do it.
I did it, and I was like, damn, a year is a really long time.
That's a really long time.
If I didn't have kids and all that, to triple my salary? Okay, here's the thing. If I didn't have kids, I would totally do van life, which I feel like,
no.
I mean,
Tima, I'm talking about like it's raining, you got to find an underpass, no pillow, no sheets, no shelter to go to, looking how you look.
I mean, thank you.
No, I'm saying like it's not safe for.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm so. I need therapy. I need help. Please, I need a counselor ASAP. No, I wouldn't. Let's move on.
Oh my gosh. I meant it in the way that you took it, but
yeah.
yeah.
I could tell by this card that this is reminding me of all the reasons why. Um, okay.
Oh, I'm nervous, and
You should
both of our
be
eyes are watering.
you should be very nervous.
All right.
You complete the fifth, and we're besties. We're going to. You can cut this if you want to, but I think it's going to be very difficult to cut this card at this point in time. So
Okay.
feel free to plead the fifth.
All right.
I just needed to dry my eyes for a second.
Damn.
Um,
Nervous.
you ham right. You might want to turn the volume down for 5
Lord.
seconds.
Let me go ahead and plead the fifth right now.
You can turn
Lord.
the volume down for 5 seconds. You know how much you can handle, and then just turn the volume back up, and we'll probably be past this question. Do you pleasure yourself more than you have somebody else do it?
No, that wasn't that bad.
Oh, okay. Maybe the way that I'm reading it is just not.
Yeah, you toned it down a lot.
I did.
Okay. Okay.
I watered it down a lot. Yeah.
Plead the fifth.
Okay. I don't know how else to say that without us getting in trouble. So you're just gonna have to use your imagination and know that I have PG'd that card. On to the next.
On to the next. This might be the last time we play this game, though. Would you sleep with an insanely attractive person who had their limbs removed at the elbows and knees?
I'm not kink shaming. That's just not something that I'm into.
I wasn't expecting you to say that.
So I would have to say no, but we can definitely kick it.
I mean, you actually can't. You literally can't.
You are the epitome of dark humor.
Sometimes the jokes just set themselves up.
And I did not mean to even set that up in that way.
I would not. I can't. Have you ever accidentally texted someone on purpose? Like no inappropriate content. Like, have you ever just accidentally sent someone a text message that you didn't mean to?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me too. This is weird.
I've done this quite often, and I have to be very careful now because I know that I do this accidentally, I guess on purpose. If I'm talking about somebody, I will accidentally pull up their name and text what I'm talking about to that person. Oh. Like if I'm saying, like, let's say I'm talking about you, but I'm talking to my mom, I'll accidentally pull up your chat.
That's funny.
And start texting you whatever shit that I'm talking about you to you.
That's funny.
I've done that at least 5 times.
Oh, you've never sent it?
Not to you.
I know.
Oh. Then how'd you know?
Oh, you were just giving an example.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were.
Oh my God. Have we been drinking?
That sounded like a real. No, I wish.
No.
That sounded like a real life example.
No, I wanted to give you an example without telling somebody else's name.
Okay, got it.
No, I text Kathy and no.
I was like, you've been catching yourself, girl. You haven't sent it.
No. There was, like, for example, there was one time, this was so long ago. There was somebody who, well, I was going to an event and my mom was supposed to be watching the kids. And so when I was messaging the group that I was going to be late because she got off late from work because she forgot. And then I was messaging the group like, ugh, my mom just got here or something like that. And I sent it to my mom and she was like, gee, thanks. I was like, oh my God.
That's hilarious.
As she's rushing to come home to watch my children so that I can go to this event.
That's hilarious.
I do stuff like that accidentally.
I get that.
Yeah, so. Why do I keep getting these cards? Would you allow someone with a foot fetish to lick your feet for $50?
No.
What amount of money would make it happen?
Like, how gross are they? Are we just talking like a normal person?
They have a foot fetish. They come in all shapes and sizes. You judge, however, but what dollar amount would it take for you to allow someone to do that?
Like $500.
Really?
Yeah.
The DMs, bling, 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 bling. Her toesies are cute.
They are. They're
We
cute.
got goals.
They're clean.
We got goals. $500. I'll be your pimp.
What would be your dollar amount?
I was gonna go a little bit higher. I was gonna say 1,000.
Mm.
But I have, like I said, Maggie's got cute toesies. I have athletic toes. Like my feet have been through some things. I've played basketball. I've played soccer.
So for you to allow someone to see your feet, you're charging an extra fee.
You gotta be locked in on your fetish, bruh. Like you gotta really be committed to the fetish. They're not ugly, but and I'm also not in the nail salon every
That's
week
hilarious. Yeah.
getting the scrapesies. So you gotta be committed.
Oh my
And
God.
if that's the case, then you will consider it worth it.
That's
and I'm gonna make you
hilarious.
pay for it.
He was like, you need to sign this NDA.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Have you ever been cut off at a bar?
No.
That would be so embarrassing.
Yeah. No.
I can't imagine.
That's beyond.
We're closing up, ma'am. That's enough for you.
Or, all right, you've had enough.
Yeah.
Or your friend is like, cut her off.
Give her water.
I've cut myself off where I'm like, wow, you clearly
No, yeah, as you should.
had too much.
Yeah.
And you need to simmer down. But, yeah, no. That is so funny.
All right.
All right, besties. Well, thank you again for joining us. We had a really good time. This was
fun.
so funny. And let us know what's your dollar amount, or if you're interested, DM. Again, we have goals. We have goals.
No, we're good on that. Let's leave it on the game.
All right, besties. We will see you next week. And like, subscribe, hit the bell, follow us on TikTok because it's doing its thing.
It is. It's fun.
The algorithm, aka Don Cheadle, is really doing his thing.
Let us know if you know where she gets that reference from. That would be interesting.
I'm sure you all know exactly who Don Cheadle is and why he is the algorithm.
I hope they know who Don Cheadle is. They may not know why he's the algorithm.
Let us know, besties.
Let us know.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.